I hold in my hand the single largest ribbon tail on the bait making market, the Epic Bait Molds Mega Ribbon. I looked around all the different sites to see if I could find something close to this size, and the closest I could find was Angling AI, had a 13, Fat Guys Fishing had a 15, and Bass Tackle had a 17. But this guy is a whopping 18, look at that, I can barely get it in the thing, 18 inches, 18. It's glorious. I have two, as you can see, and we are going to shoot them both today. The Felders actually have a yard sale this Saturday, so we're not going to be able to fish them this time. I am going to take them with me on a future trip, but that means we can get kind of fancy with them today, and I have some ideas. First half cup going into the microwave. Let me get it warmed up and I'll tell you about the motivation, the inspiration behind what we're gonna do today. It's this guy right here. Finatics, see what he's doing there? Soft Plastics. Finatics Soft Plastics on Instagram. And he is doing amazing things, mind-blowing things, especially with the Glory Craw. Yeah. Check this out. Look at that. He's open pouring all that detail into all those little cavities and then finishing it out with that blue to fill out the body. Is that not absolutely mind-blowing? That's insane. He does, I mean, he's doing like worms and stuff like that too. We've seen that. But the Glory Craw work that he does is amazing. He also does the same stuff with the 4.6 inch Epic Freakin' Frog, where he's, I mean, just crazy balls. And I thought, I'm gonna try that with these giant ribbon tails. First cup is all warmed up, actually half cup, sorry. We don't need all that much because we're gonna be drizzling these first few layers. Let me show you the first color we're gonna dive into. Bit of an experiment today, but we're diving back into the brand new Pixie Dust, and this one is Golden Trout. So we're gonna go, because it's a half cup, we're gonna go with a 1/16 of a teaspoon. This is kind of an iridescent pink to gold, but the gold doesn't really pop unless you add a drop of black or something like that, which is part of the experimentation today. Hang with me, it'll make sense hopefully a little bit later. But I do want to spike it with just a little bit of extra fine gold from Hobby Lobby. Let's actually, I was gonna do a 32nd, let's do a 1/16 of that as well. So that'll just up the ampage on the gold, right? Whew. That would work just on its own. Very nice. Had to warm her back up. Those half cups cool down really fast. So this is about 345. I'm gonna start at the top here and just random marks all the way down both sides on all 4 halves. Don't have any rhyme or reason, just kind of starting, some thicker, some thinner. Like a little bit extra in this spot here, and then maybe just a drizzle into the back with some dots. Super simple. And there we go, easy peasy. All right, next up is black remelt, and when I say black, I'm talking jet black. This was the top of our last Bladed Slayer video, Molten Swamp Dragon. 30 drops of black for a cup, so it is completely saturated, which is what we want. We're gonna take this and drizzle it, not directly on top of everything, but kind of intermixed throughout what we just did. All right, here we go. Want to get some on our Pixie Dust and some outside of it. Some thicker areas too, just like before, kind of randomized. And on into the tail. Nice. So while those guys are cooling off, we actually need to get out my hot plates and get those warmed up. This is where I failed the last time that I attempted to do this with, I think it was the 4.25 Magnum Leech. Yeah, it didn't work for me then because I didn't heat these molds before injecting, and we're gonna do that this time. But before we inject them hot, right, we've got to clean up all of this stuff along the edges, and because this is high quality CNC milling, all you got to do is take your thumb or your finger right there on like the edge and just push. My buddy Nick Rundle likes to talk about pinching one off, and that's all we're doing. We're just pushing that plastic against the edge and it cuts right off nice and clean. Voila, she's ready to roll. All right, those guys have been cooking on the hot plates for about 10 to 12 minutes. It'll be roughly 15 by this time we're all said and done. Went ahead and clamped them both together. Turned, they were at about 325-ish. Turned it down to about 300 because now they're tall, not flat. I just want them to kind of maintain that heat as best as possible. We need a belly, not a belly, we need a body color to fill in the gaps, right? So I've got another cup of BaitPlastics 242. That's what we've been using the whole time. It is a full cup, although deceivingly, it's only one cavity. So even though it's a giant worm, it really doesn't suck down that much. But the color we're going to use, I don't mind having a little extra because we are going back to Alpha Pigments, Super Color Shift, Tsunami. I'm going to go with a full 1/8 of a teaspoon of this stuff. Oh yeah. This is going to make a dynamite color that's going to pop through where our drizzle wasn't, and it's a dark base, so I'm hoping we're going to get some cool effects with the pixie dust. Different than what we would get against the black, but still very cool against this. That is awesome. Tsunami is freaking amazing. Now normally I would put black flake in this, right? Large and small black flake is my go-to. Not going to do that this time because we have all that black drizzle. I really want that to kind of carry the load on the black side. That said, I do want to add two things. Lureworks 109, yeah, the standard green pumpkin 109, 3 drops of this and some 015 red flake. Green pumpkin is in, now a 1/16 of a teaspoon of red flake. Oh yeah. Just gives it that little extra green pop, makes the green a little bit stronger, and of course the red just looks fantastic in there. Alright, our Tsunami is warming back up. I had to get the big gloves out because we need to move this guy, and these things are screaming hot, which is a good thing. Move them over and get them ready for the shot. Speaking of which, is going to the shot's going to be hotter than normal. Normally I'm at 320, 325, maybe 330 if it's a single color. This one, I want to help the bonding between the two, so we're probably going to be more like 350. All right, that's 350 on the nose. Grab my 8-ounce single injector. Overkill on these things. You might be able to shoot both of these with a 4-ounce. Again, single cavity. Lot of variables on this one, lot that could go wrong. I'm going to hold pressure just a little bit. Move over. All right. Now that is going to take an extra long time to draw down and to cool off because these molds, as I've mentioned, are smoking freaking hot. Alright, we are all cooled off and ready to crack one of these guys open. We are looking for no cold cracks because we did all that heat work, and a really cool effect because we put the pixie dust down first with black over that and a dark body. So without further ado, I'm kind of stalling because I'm a little nervous. Let's crack these guys open. Which side? Bottom side. Oh yeah. So we got a little bit of flashing, but that's because of that higher heat, right? We have one tiny little void right there, but this looks successful. See how there's no cold cracks? It all kind of meshed in together. There's a little bit of flashing I was talking about. And there, I have to get these. Let me get it out. There you go. There's a good look. See how it all just kind of came together? And that random color from just the drizzle that we put in there, all random like. But then you've got these spots. Let me find one. You got these spots where the pixie dust gives you a nice sparkle, right? Random from everything else. And then that super color shift comes through. And then you get parts where all three are doing something. Oh my gosh, that's cool. And check this out. This is the bottom. Can't even get it in frame. That's the worm. Is that not the sickest thing you've ever seen? Look at how huge this thing is. It's longer than my forearm. It's dangling clear down here. Oh my gosh. All right, let's check out the other one, see if it came out just as good or better. Oh yeah. Oh, a lot of the same. Some flashing that just peels right off, no big deal. But this one had some bigger splotches. Had one little void right here, I think. Yeah, just a little bit of a void right there. You get that when you do this because I need to be more mindful of where I'm drizzling, especially in the transition points, and just making sure that there's enough space there for the body color to fill in and you don't block any vents or you don't do anything stupid. Let's take a look at this one. Such a crazy worm. Man, it's awesome. There you go, just like the other one. That pixie dust, if we're not adding black to the pigment, but you put it on a dark surface like that, you get these really awesome results. I mean, this part doesn't have any pixie dust on it, but you see what it does when we got the black on the pixie dust? You get that different look. And then of course, everywhere the pixie dust is and the black is not, you get kind of that sparkle effect against the super color shift. So what does it look like against the green? What does it look like against the brown? What does it look like against the black? That was the idea. This was a lot of fun experimenting today. Hope you guys enjoyed the ride as well. Pretty sweet baits, I'd have to say. I hope you agree. Thanks for coming along, and until the next time, see you guys in the shop.